Howdy, I'm Clint Walker and you're watching GVTV News.
Thanks, Clint, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's world news headlines, record cold in U.S. follows second warmest January worldwide. And White House extremism conference hosts Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. And in Somalia, parliament members killed in hotel attack. And European ministers hold key meeting on Greece's fate and they get a 4-month extension. And a report says NSA hacked world's largest SIM card maker. And Walmart wage hike falls far short of workers' demands. And in Texas, same-sex couple marries after judge defies ban. Jury awards Indian workers $14 million in trafficking case. And a video says St. Louis cop turned off dash cam as officer kicks driver. Jeb Bush calls advisors from administration of father and brother. And Clinton Foundation criticized for donations from oil firms and oil-rich nations. GVTV News is broadcast on Grass Valley Television, division of Rural Counties Television Network, whose focus is on community involvement. We also air on NCTV. But before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. In today's first world news story, record cold temperatures are continuing across the eastern and midwestern United States. With a blast of Arctic air, scientists warn as part of a pattern fueled by climate change. In Kentucky, temperatures are negative digits, around 40 degrees below normal. In New York, and Martin Napier was among those who visited the iconic Niagara Falls that is frozen, and he said it was like a wall of ice with lots of stalactites. There was a few stalactites made of ice, like icicles. It was cool. It was completely different from where in the summer when it's just all water. Record cold follows what government scientists have just confirmed was second warmest January in record worldwide. And in New York City may be among some 100 cities currently experiencing record-breaking cold. New report from the New York City Panel on Climate Change finds average temperatures here could jump nearly 9 degrees Fahrenheit by the 2080s. Like we'll be around. White House has wrapped up 3-day conference in militant extremism. Speaking Thursday, Obama reiterated his message that groups like the Islamic State do not represent Islam. He said, at the same time, we must acknowledge the groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIL are deliberately targeting their propaganda to Muslim communities, particularly Muslim youth. Now Muslim communities, including scholars and clerics, therefore have a responsibility to push back, not just on twisted interpretations of Islam, but also on the lie that we are somehow engaged in a clash of civilizations, that America and the West are somehow at war with Islam or seek to suppress Muslims, where we cause every ill in the Middle East. The White House conference hosted representatives from countries that face global condemnation for the promotion of extremism or repression of their own citizens, including Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. In Somalia, at least 20 people were killed, including several members of parliament, after militants set off explosions and opened fire at a hotel in the capital of Mogadishu. The militant group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the attack on the central hotel, saying they are targeting government officials. An European finance ministers meeting in Brussels for key talks on financial future of Greece on Thursday, Greece formally requested 6-month extension on the current loan deal without making a firm commitment to the deep austerity cuts dictated under the international bailout. But German Economy Minister Sigmar Gabriel rejected the request and said, "We recently received an offer from the Greek government that was made that all the EU member states, as well as the Eurogroup, in which Greece is for the first time, accepts that without reforms there will be no European financial aid. That is the beginning, but there is also to say that this offer is insufficient because it lacks all specific measures in Greece, and that cannot happen. We cannot make it easier in Greece on the shoulders of German and European taxpayers. Over the next few days, especially tomorrow, we need to negotiate further." Well, they did, and it came up with 4 months. That's the newest update. New investigation by the Intercept reveals National Security Agency, NSA, and its British counterpart, GCHQ, hacked into the internal computer network of the largest manufacturer of SIM cards in the world, stealing encryption keys used to protect the privacy of cell phone communications. Secret operation targeted the Dutch company Gemalto, whose clients include AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, and some 450 wireless network providers around the world. Big Brother's getting way out there now, huh? Walmart has announced it will raise its minimum wage to $9 an hour in April and $10 next year, and a move that will impact about 500,000 low-wage workers. The increase falls short of the $15 an hour wage demanded by the workers that launched a historic strikes against Walmart and reported retaliation from the company for joining the protest. In 2012, analysis found the 6 higher heirs of Walmart much wealthier than the bottom 40% of the United States, all of them combined. 2 women in Austin, Texas have become the first legally married same-sex couple in the state despite the long-standing ban on the unions. State District Judge ordered the Travis County Clerk to grant a marriage license to Suzanne Bryant and her partner of 30 years, Sarah Goodfriend, saying the couple needed immediate relief from the ban because Goodfriend had ovarian cancer. Goodfriend and Bryant celebrated at a news conference. Goodfriend said, "There really is very, very meaningful to our family to have this kind of ability to make personal decisions, health decisions, financial decisions as a family going forward." And Bryant said, "We're very grateful that we've had this opportunity to crack the door open in Texas. We hope it will swing wide for everyone very soon." Just hours later, the Texas State Supreme Court blocked the order allowing the couple to wed. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has declared the marriage void. A federal jury in New Orleans has awarded $14 million to 5 Indian workers in a trafficking case involving a firm, Signal International, in the aftermath of Hurricane Trina. Signal brought hundreds of people from India to work on repairs at shipyards in Mississippi. The workers say they spent their life savings to come to the United States under false promises and permanent residency. They were then forced to spend more than $1,000 per month to live in squalid work camps with up to 24 men sharing a single unit and 2 bathrooms. Those who complained were threatened with deportation. The case is one of the historic series of labor trafficking cases led by the Southern Poverty Law Center. In Missouri, St. Louis police officer has been suspended after turning off a dashboard camera as her colleagues were kicking and tasing an African-American man during a traffic stop. Cortez Buford has filed suit against police over the April arrest. Video showed police dragging Buford from the car, then kicking and tasing him. At one point he shouts, "I can't move," and using the slang term red to mean the dashboard camera is rolling. Officer Kelly Swinton tells her colleague to wait while she turns it off. And Swinton says, hold up, y'all, hold up. Everybody hold up. We're red light right now, so if you guys are worried about cameras, just wait. Video then abruptly stops. Police had received calls about shots fired in the area, accused Buford of speeding, making an illegal U-turn and abruptly parking. They say the officer kicked him to prevent him from reaching a gun, which they say they found in his pocket. But all charges against Buford are dropped after the prosecutor saw the footage. Police Chief Sam Dotson told St. Louis Post-Dispatch he does not believe the officers did anything wrong. In addition to Swinton, he suspended a sergeant who was supervising the scene for 1 day. Former Florida governor and likely Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush has drawn criticism for choosing his slate of foreign policy advisors directly from the presidential administrations of his father and brother. Of the 21 names on the list, 19 worked for George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush, or both. The list includes 2 of George W. Bush's secretaries of Homeland Security, Tom Ridge and Michael Chertoff, and two of his former CIA directors, Porter Goss and Michael Hayden. Other key figures tapped from his brother's administration include John Negroponte, who served as ambassador to Iraq and first director of national intelligence, Paul Wolfus, and key architect of the 2003 Iraq War. And, well, whatever, he picked him. And Jeb Bush said, "Look, just for the record, one more time, I love my brother, I love my dad, actually love my mother as well. Hope that's okay, and I admire their service to the nation and difficult decisions that they had to make, but I'm my own man, and my views are shaped by my own thinking and my own experiences." Another name on Jeb Bush's list of advisors is former Assistant Secretary of State Roger Noriega, a key figure in the overthrow of the Haitian President Jean-Bertrand Aristide by George W. Bush. Hillary Clinton, seen as a likely Democratic frontrunner for president, has come under fire from environmental groups after it is revealed her nonprofit foundation received millions in donations from fossil fuel companies, government of Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and a Canadian governmental agency promoting the Keystone XL oil pipeline. Clinton Foundation, run by Hillary and Bill Clinton and their daughter Chelsea, has raised nearly $2 billion since its creation in 2001. I guess they're not broke anymore. And that's it for the world news today. Now another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. That's right, it's time for the police blotter, and pictures in the blotter not from these actual events but used for visual aid only. These public records are obtained from daily logs issued from Nevada County law enforcement. Grass Valley Police Department on Wednesday, 8:27 a.m., a caller from a business 600 block of Idaho Maryland Road reported theft of equipment. 9:33 a.m., a caller from 300 block of Clark Street reported theft of a garden cart. 10:13 a.m., a caller from 100 block of Neal Street reported theft of a shopping cart. 10:56 a.m., a caller from Whispering Pines Lane reported finding credit cards. 12:21 p.m., a caller from 200 block of Colfax Avenue reported a physical fight involving a man and a woman, with the woman kicking the vehicle door. Then they got into a vehicle, and then the woman climbed out of the passenger window. The man was arrested on suspicion of being drunk in public. 12:53 p.m., caller from 200 block of Sutton Way reported an internet scam. 12:55 p.m., a caller from 1200 block of Sutton Way reported a lock had been broken into and vandalized. 12:59 p.m., a caller from 200 block of North Church Street reported identity theft involving taxes. 1:14 p.m., a caller from 1700 block of East Main Street reported a woman was punched in the face and then thrown from a vehicle. She was gone when officers arrived. And 1:22 p.m., a caller from 1800 block of East Main Street reported a man in a vehicle smoking marijuana. 1:27 p.m., a caller from 800 block of Sutton Way reported finding a backpack and drugs. And 3:16 p.m., a caller from Colfax Avenue and Henderson Street reported a vehicle hit a bicyclist who was transported to the hospital. 5:19 p.m., a caller from 100 block of South School Street reported a verbal and physical fight involving two men. At 5:58 p.m., a caller from Highway 174 and Race Street reported a vegetation fire. 6:09 p.m., a caller from 100 block of West McKnight Way reported a shoplifter. And 8:28 p.m., a caller from 300 block of Bennett Street reported a gunshot. Nothing was located. 9:24 p.m., a woman reported identity theft. And 11:27 p.m., a caller from 100 block of Ophir Street reported two men in a physical fight. And Thursday, 12:33 a.m., a caller from 300 block of North Star Place reported a person banging on the side of the house, and the person was moving on. And 1:28 a.m., a caller from 600 block of Freeman Lane reported a camera showed two people in sight. No one was located. Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Wednesday, 8:43 a.m., a caller from Kentucky Flat and Newtown Roads reported ongoing dumping of trash. At 8:54 a.m., a caller from 13,000 block of Misty Meadow Lane reported a dog might have been poisoned. At 10:18 a.m., a caller from 11,000 block of North Bloomfield and Graniteville Road reported trespassing. At 11:05 a.m., a caller from 10,000 block of Melody Road reported mail theft. A person was arrested on a warrant. 11:43 a.m., a caller from Highway 49 and Oak Tree Road reported a man in a truck pulled a gun on two people and then drove away. A report was taken. 12:15 p.m., a caller from 14,000 block of Highland Drive reported a burglary. 2:51 p.m., a caller reported identity theft. 3:48 p.m., caller at 15,000 block of Dog Bar Road reported identity theft. And 4:38 p.m., a caller from 17,000 block of Derby Way reported that PG&E cut a gate lock and put their own lock on. 8:55 p.m., caller from 13,000 block of Fawn Hill Drive reported a man possibly using meth who was arrested on suspicion of being under the influence of a controlled substance. 11:26 p.m., a caller from 10,000 block of Golden Rock Place reported a neighbor was hammering and making noises. It was quiet when a deputy arrived. Nevada City Police Department on Wednesday, 4:30 p.m., a caller from 300 block of Broad Street reported a vehicle had been tampered with. And 10:53 p.m., a caller from 300 block of Spring Street reported theft of a purse. Cell phone was tracked and the contents were located. And that's it for the blotter today. Now, another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. In today's local news headlines, Bear River Land Trust recognizes conservationists Alicia Funk and Clarence Motter. Bear River Land Trust will recognize two lifetime conservationists during its annual Oak Tree Bash annual meeting and award ceremony on Tuesday, March 3rd at North Star House, 12075 Auburn Road in Grass Valley. During this intimate gathering, the Land Trust will honor Alicia Funk with the William Nicker Award and the Conservationist Leadership and Trex leader Clarence Motter with the John Skinner Sierra Outdoors Recreation Award. I've known Alicia for many years and have been seeing her passion for our local natural environment has really captured her imagination, said BYLT Executive Director Marty Coleman Hunt. She has turned the passion into action by becoming our local expert on culinary and medicinal wild and native plants and traditional uses of indigenous peoples. She has advocated for the understanding and use of them in tours and talks and lectures and writing and now filmmaking. She award recognized exactly these qualities among people like Alicia in our community. Funk is the founder of Living Wild Project and co-author of Living Wild Gardening, Cooking, and Healing and Native Plants of California. She lives off the grid with her husband and their 3 children. She first studied plant-based medicine in 1990 from the indigenous grandmother in Ecuador's rainforest. She received her BA and MBA and Certificate of American School of Herbal Studies. She's the editor of 6 publications on herbal medicines, including Herbal Medicines Expanded Commission E monographs, and ABC's Clinical Guide to Herbs and Botanical Safety and Handbook, and her Living Wild books and programs support environmental and cultural conservation. Longtime supporter. Funk believes in the organization's mission, and she has led nature walks, orchestrated art shows, and provided books and native plant baskets for fundraisers for BYLT. She is so lucky. BYLT, it sounds like a hamburger. It's all right. But anyway, conservation comes down to choices we make each day in our family, our community, and ourselves. My hope is that we can remember how to conserve and cultivate and enjoy the plant natives of the place we call home, she said. Clarence Motter has led multiple treks to Bear River Land Trust over the years, exploring World War II era bunkers and autumn and Spencerville Wildlife Area, historic Nevada County Cemetery, and wildflowers at Table Mountain. Motter's connection to the Land Trust goes back to founding years, 25 years ago, when the Land Trust was formed by a small group of concerned citizens who saw development threatening the region's rural way of life. Longtime member and volunteer, Motter has helped build and maintain trails in Rattlesnake Ridge Independent Trail and connect of Cascade Canal. He helped paint the North Star House during the early years of restoration. Volunteering is rewarding in itself, but being chosen to be honored by Bear River Land Trust that's for what they love to do is humbling and greatly appreciated, he said. Community is invited to learn about Bear River Land Trust's largest acquisition, Rice Crossing the Yubic River, upcoming 25th anniversary trek and youth activities, 2015 trail and conservation projects, volunteering opportunities, and upcoming events. Eva and Gary will provide live bossa nova and jazz, and participants sampling appetizers donated prepared by California Organics, Jernigan's Briar Patch Co-op, and Live in Wild, local wine and microbrews, and it's 5 p.m.
Crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon, I could go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Grass Valley Television brings you local and world news, and we broadcast our 30-minute show 6 times a day on NCTV, Public Access, Comcast Cable, Channel 11 and 18. Also, we're on Sudden Link, Channel 16 and 18. We have 3 amazing series: Music, a 30-minute weekly show that airs 4 times a week, and Pride, Integrity, Guts, and Service, hosted by Sheriff Keith Royal and me on a bi-monthly series, plays 4 times a week. We're your community media, and if you have a business and would like to underwrite our shows, we offer almost 200 30-second spots a month on Comcast and Sudden Link. We also stream live on NevadaCountyTV.org and video on demand there, and our own websites, GVTV.org and GrassValleyTelevision.com. We also post to several Facebook pages and YouTube, Vimeo, Blip.tv, and many other sites on the web where we mirror our shows. We provide 30-second spots and a 60-second spot for you to embed on your webpage or whatever you want to do with it. For more information, you can call us at 362-8889 or email grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com. We will be happy to explain how your support of us will help us support you.